Hello, believers, non believers, and everyone in between. You're listening to Stories with Sapphire. I am Sapphire Sandalo. Now get cozy and open your mind because it's story time.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire Live. I'm Sapphire Sandalo. If this is your first time here, this is the live stream that I do every Wednesday here on YouTube at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. I get so many emails and messages that they may not all make it to the podcast or the animated show. So I do this so I can chat with you all and you can ask me questions and hang out. Like always, if you would like to submit a story, you can send it to storieswithsapphire@gmail.com. The email address is right here on the screen the entire time. And so while people are still trickling in, I'll update everyone on what? Sorry, my brain just like blanked out for a second. So I called this stream Cats because as I was going through stories, I noticed that there were a lot of stories involving cats. So I was like, okay, let me make that a theme. But here is a content warning. I think that there is some gruesome animal stuff in this episode. So if you are sensitive to that right now, listener discretion is advised. Is that what they say at the beginning of Law and Order? Because we're doing a cat theme episode, I'm actually going to use a different oracle deck. So if this is your first time here, at the end of every live stream, I like to pull a card from one of my decks and do like a collective reading for everyone. This is a really cool deck. It's called Wild Mystic, and it's all different animals. The cover is a snake with like a cool crown and a moon. It's really pretty. It's all black and gold and white. I might share a cool story with this maybe, but we'll see if we have time. All right, I'm going to catch up on the chat a little. There's some shade being thrown, which I'm going to ignore. So, are y'all ready for your first story? So, did I explain everything already? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Oh, Abigail asked, where did I get it? I got it at this really cool store called the Old World Emporium in Santa Clarita, California. I went a couple weeks ago, and I was just immediately drawn to it. Actually, you know what? I am going to tell the story, but I'll tell the story before I do the reading. How about that? How about that? All right, your first story is from, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Mako Magics. It's entitled The Mauled Cat. So if you cannot handle stories about animals being hurt, you have been warned. Hey, I've been watching your videos and I just felt like sharing a quick story of my dead cat. Hope you like it. A beloved cat went missing on a day when no one noticed. The cat crept around the neighborhood and would always come back to the family's house. However, one day, the cat went missing. There was a family down the street consisting of a mom, a dad, an older brother, with 2 younger sisters. The eldest daughter of the family heard the door creak open as she saw a foot fleet into the darkness, letting the cold air in. She followed, having the urge to find any trace of the figure. Letting the darkness envelop her, she could only make out footsteps around her as she blindly followed with her ears. She was led to the back of a neighbor's yard where she could make out a figure blocking something in front of it from the flickering streetlight. She walked towards the figure until she heard a snap beneath her feet. The figure turned around, highlighting the blood around its mouth and hands, crouching in front of the thing. She screamed as she recognized the cat, A cat getting eaten. It was her cat. Breathing heavily, slowly losing consciousness, she saw the figure approach her. As it stood above her, as her eyes flickered shut, she could see the crazy smile and eyes. Her brother, as he reached his hand toward her face. The last thing she saw before everything went black. Ah! What? Oh no. I hope that's not true. Oh no. I hope that didn't actually happen to your cat. What? Your brother ate the cat? That's a lot. Well, thank you for sharing that. Oh man, my bangs are like out of control today. I'm trying to tap into my inner emo, but it's like almost too much. Help, why is the chat so deep right now? What do you mean deep? Okay. All right, here we go. So this one is supposedly a wholesome story, so we'll see. This comes from MJ. Hi, this is just a short, wholesome story from when I was a kid. I like telling this story to people, but they don't believe me. We'll believe them. When I was a really young kid, maybe 4 or 5 years old, we had a cat named Bellet, an average-sized calico cat missing her left eye. She was never very nice to me and often avoided me. One fateful day, I went downstairs looking for the source of a weird noise I was hearing. I'm definitely surviving a horror movie, I know. Down in our basement, I saw the dying body of our cat. We rushed her to the vet, but she didn't make it. We buried her in our backyard and everything settled down. I don't remember how long later, it wasn't more than a year, I was going out into our porch to look for my mom. I got a really cold chill down my spine, like someone had poured a bowl of ice water on me. Very stereotypical ghosty stuff. I opened the door, and on the headrest thing of our chair was a cat. It was see-through and slightly blue. It looked at me, and the only really good look was a quick look at the cat's face. It was missing an eye. It noticed me and jumped down to the armrest and down to the ground. But before it hit the ground, it disappeared. If it wasn't for that unexplainable experience, I wouldn't even consider ghosts as being a possibility. Thank you for taking the time to read this story. Sincerely, MJ. Oh man. So actually, you know, it's so funny. I feel like this idea that ghosts are transparent or like bluish. This isn't the first time I've heard that. People think that it's this weird cliche or stereotype, but I think that exists for a reason. I think sometimes they do appear like that because I know many people who have seen something that specifically looks bluish and transparent, as if it was a haunted mansion ghost. Oh, weird. Maybe they do show up that way. Anyways, that is wholesome. Thank you. And I'm saving this really, really long story for our last before we hop into the reading, and I tell you a really cool story about my deck. This title's really interesting. Something's following me and it really doesn't like cats. Okay. Also, are we a cat audience today or dog audience? I mean the question of, you know, dogs versus cats. I've never owned a cat, so I'm not really sure. I can't really know. I've only had dogs, but I've always thought of myself as a dog person. But cats have grown on me because my friends have cats, and they're usually pretty cool. Adam, thank you for the super chat. Just felt like sending $20. Also, favorite horror movie. By the way, super chat, if you're unfamiliar, if you want to donate a little money to the channel just to show appreciation for my content, you can donate any amount of money by clicking the $sign in the chat, and then it highlights your comment. So I see it and I read it. Favorite horror movie? Oh my God, that's such a difficult question because you've got your favorites for different reasons. Like my favorite comfort horror movie, the one I'll put on if I just want something that feels comforting, I guess. That one is 13 Ghosts for sure. But I know it's not a good movie. So, Seven is also one of my favorites. That one is like my favorite, in terms of just like, I just think that, that, that movie has, first time I saw it was when it came out when I was like 9. And then I saw it multiple times like throughout my life, and every single time that movie has meant something different to me. So that's definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, I feel like you have to have a favorite horror movie in all the genres. So like my favorite slasher horror movie is probably Urban Legends, maybe. I love all the terrible 90s, 2000s horror movies because that was when I got into horror. Anyways, here we go. This is I don't think they want their name. Okay, here we go. Ready? This one's a little longer. And I haven't read this one, so again, I'm sorry if there's any animal harm. Hi, have been a fan of the podcast for a while now. Thought you may be interested in what I'm currently dealing with. I've never been super sensitive to the paranormal, and I haven't had a ton of experiences with it until a few months ago, or so I thought. My girlfriend and her family are, however, and she says whatever's going on has been with me a lot longer than I thought. The earliest event I can connect to this entity is when I got my first kitten when I was 10 or 11. It's entirely possible experiences before this were linked and I haven't noticed. My grandmother was allergic to cats, so the kitten stayed in my room until my grandmother left for work in the evening every day. Typically at night, I had my door shut so she wouldn't get out and bother my family. She was a very, very energetic kitty. One night, I was laying up in my loft bed, looking at a set of dollhouses on my dresser. The cat jumped up and stood in the middle of my little dollhouse town, lightly hissed, then jumped down onto the couch. A few seconds later, the dollhouses flew off the dresser and toward the cat. And I mean flew, not just fell over. It was as if someone had swiped their arm across the dresser and knocked off all the dollhouses. Scared the crap out of me. The cat was okay, but very freaked out. She hid in my blankets for the rest of the night, and for me, it was comforting to have her there after such an experience. There were a few other incidents where I saw the cat get tugged off the counter by what looked like an invisible force, and once me and my mom saw her food bowl get dragged away from her mid-meal. Sadly, that kitten needed to be rehomed for unrelated reasons later down the line. I've seen other odd things happen to cats while in my presence, such as my friend's cat being shoved across her kitchen floor like it'd been kicked, cats hissing at random areas of whatever room I'm in. Once the neighbor's outdoor cat was sitting next to me on my porch, and it was suddenly tossed off the porch and into the bushes below. Another time, a stray cat wandered by me while I was waiting to take a test at a testing center, and a rock flew out of nowhere and nearly hit the cat. I thought they were all really weird, but never linked them. Never figured if a ghost or a ghoul was doing this, if it'd be the same one. Maybe the cat just jumped weird. Maybe it just fell. Maybe someone threw the rock. The paranormal only crossed my mind once or twice. Now I'm older, 22, living in my own house with a girlfriend who's a lot less skeptical and more in tune with the paranormal than me. We foster animals frequently, usually dogs or birds, but in the last few weeks, we've been fostering 4 little kitties who lost their mama to a house fire. The kitties are very young and need to be bottle fed. One night, me and my girlfriend were feeding them. I had 2 already asleep in my lap and was feeding one while my girlfriend fed the other. It was dead quiet and right before bed. Suddenly, the bottle was yanked out of my hand and tossed across the room. Me and my girlfriend kind of just looked at each other. We were both in shock. Then she got a weird look on her face and asked if something like that has ever happened before. I was confused and asked, like what? She responded, Has something weird ever happened to cats or other animals when they were around you while getting up to get the bottle? I told her about my childhood kitten and the dollhouse incident, then slowly connected the dots to a lot of other stuff. And she said she thinks it's a single entity following me around, bullying cats. She's not sure why or what its motives are, so we took the problem to her mother the next day. Her mother confirmed the same and said she's having a really hard time picking up on a reason for this entity's hatred of cats or a reason for following me. As far as I'm aware, no relative or friends that passed away has disliked cats. Some members of my family were allergic to them, but by no means hated them enough to do things like this. Even stranger, my girlfriend and her family are usually pretty good at picking up on entities and their motives, what they are, who they are, all that stuff. But this one was nearly undetectable. No one said they felt a single thing, not even a slight hint of something. But now that these instances of cat bullying have become known to my girlfriend and her family, they're picking up on it a lot easier. My girlfriend said she sensed it the instant that bottle was thrown. They still can't tell what it is or its motives, but they know it's there. Nothing has happened to the kittens since, and I've noticed both my massive dogs getting really protective of the kittens all of a sudden. I'm wondering who or what this thing is, how long it's been with me, and why it's with me. My girlfriend's mom says it's been with me for years. She can't tell how long, but at least since I was 5. I'm really freaked out now. What does this thing want from me? Thank you if you read this far. I just felt like I needed to get this out somewhere. Whoa, what? That's wild. Okay, so I'm marking that as red. That's pretty wild. I'm trying to think, it's really common to hear stories of ghosts who are maybe sexist or racist. Sometimes there's like ghosts who only attack men or only attack women, things like that. And I'm trying to remember if there's stories of things with animals where ghosts don't like certain animals. That's really interesting. I need to think about that. I'm going to research that because it very well could be a... Yeah, like what? Like, I wonder if there is some type of creature or entity that maybe it's like confusing the cats or something. I feel like I have heard something similar. I'm gonna look into this. I'm not gonna make stuff up. Okay, I did see a couple super chats come in while I was reading. So let me back up here. Okay, so Blob23455, thank you for the super chat. What do you think of Let's Get Haunted? Oh, I love them. They both went to LMU, which I went to, which is so funny. And I was actually on one of their episodes. It was like in the earlier episode, I think like 50 or something, 50-ish. But yeah, they're great. Do you also listen to their show? Is that what you asked? I don't know what your username is. I think it's like II67. Thank you for the super chat. Do you miss working for Snarled? No. No, absolutely not. You know what though? Oh, you retracted your comment. Here's what I'll say. What I do miss is when Snarled was at its peak and all my friends were working there, and when it really felt like this supportive community of creative women working together. That I missed that. That was a very short period of time. And it can never come back. By the way, I have Stephanie Strange, the new host of Something Scary. Love her. She's so great. She's so sweet. We've been hanging out a bunch, and she's awesome. So go support her. Go follow her on TikTok. I think that's where she's most active. Angel Sandoval, thank you. Will you be doing any more guest appearances on Paranormal and like the haircut, by the way? Oh my God, thank you for noticing. If you're talking about Paranormal Caught on Camera, I actually left the show a while ago. So I don't know what episode or season they're on in terms of airing. but I haven't like filmed for that show in a very long time. So yeah, that's that. All right, y'all. You ready for my cool story about this deck, this Oracle deck? Um, so this is all right. It takes a sec to like pull them all out. I want to like find the card I'm talking about. So, my desk is too little. So, as most of you know, I work on my psychic intuition and developing that ability. And that's something that everyone should do. It doesn't mean that you're going to solve murders for the police or be on Oprah or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just everyone should have a really strong connection with their intuition. I don't. That's what I think. Anyways, so one thing that I like to do is if I'm looking for spiritual validation for something, like maybe I've done a ritual, some type of spell, whatever, I'll ask my guides to show me a type of sign, and I'll pick something, and then when I see it, I'm like, cool, that's my validation. So a couple of weeks ago, I was like, okay, trying to think of a validation symbol. And then in my mind's eye, I like immediately saw what I thought looked like a goat with a circular gold medallion around its neck. Like that's what it looked like to me. And I thought it was weird. It was so sudden. And I was kind of like, okay. Because I was going to pick a different symbol. But then that image came to my head, and I was like, I guess I'll just use that. So, days go by. I'm seeing goats everywhere, but nothing wearing a specifically golden circular medallion. And I'm getting a little bit discouraged. I'm like, wow, how long is it going to take for me to see this freaking thing, right? So my friend invites me to go to this store called Ye Old Emporium in Santa Clarita in California, which is where I am. And it's a really cool store. The owner's really cool, Dylan. And sorry, I'm like trying to shuffle these, but also talk, which is apparently difficult for me. And so we're walking around the store. It's a really cool store. It's really cool vibes. If you're ever in Santa Clarita, highly recommend stopping by. They also do events. I think they do classes, but it's a really cool store. Anyways, I'm walking through, and I like to collect tarot cards and oracle decks. It's something that I collect. So I was like, all right, I went in with the intention of possibly coming home with a deck of cards. But I only buy them if I feel particularly drawn to them. And I'm looking at all the different cards, and then I see this box, this gold, black and gold box for this, and I'm immediately like, wow, that's really pretty. That's really cool. And I had been looking for a deck that had a bunch of animals on it because I love animal symbolism, especially since like when I first started learning how to read people, the first things that would come to my mind are always animals. So I want to learn what each animal means. And so I buy the deck, I take it home, and whenever I buy a new deck, I like to go through and familiarize myself with all of the cards. And I see this card, and it makes me pause. What does this look like to you? Because to me, looks like a freaking goat with a medallion around its neck. I know that's not what it is, but that's what it looks like, doesn't it? So I stopped. I was like, what the crap? And I immediately started texting my friends with the picture of this. I was like, tell me what you see. What does this look like? And they were like, just looks like an animal with like, I was like, does this look like an animal with a necklace around it? And I told them the story, and they also agreed. Anyways, so isn't that freaking cool? I might be the only one who thinks that's a cool story. Anyways, all right, you ready for your for your collective reading? All right, I'm gonna shuffle. Let me do my little prayer. Hang on. the duck. Sapphire, I know you won't read this, but I see you as such an amazing person. I loved you in Snarled and think you're such an amazing person. I'll always love your content and adore your channel. Thank you. Can I just say it's really weird to have complete and total strangers telling you you're amazing, because it's such a one-way relationship. I don't know anything about you, but you know a lot about me. But at the same time, you also don't really know me. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just feel really weary of people like idolizing strangers. Like, I mean, I know I'm a good person. I'm just saying. Don't idolize strangers. Okay. I have a feeling I know what card I'm going to get, but I don't want to say in case I'm wrong. All right, you guys ready? Yeah, that's not the one I thought it would be. Okay. Your collective reading too much nice people. What are you talking about? All right, everyone, you got the butterfly. So the message of the butterfly is transform, because the butterfly basically needs to die. Caterpillars? No, the butterfly doesn't die. Caterpillars, when they make their cocoon, it's not that a caterpillar just grows wings. It completely disintegrates and becomes a whole new thing. Isn't that wild? When I learned about that, I was like, that's crazy. That's too much. Nature, you're wild. All right, I'm going to read that because I haven't memorized these yet. So I'm going to read you the butterfly. Here we go. This card represents change and transition. Butterflies have long been associated with transformation due to their elegant transition from caterpillar to butterfly. This card may symbolize a physical transformation. However, the butterfly's association throughout myth and lore with the soul might indicate a deeper, more intrinsic change. Many cultures represent the butterfly as a vessel for a traveling soul for good or ill omen. The presence of the butterfly in your reading may indicate a choice or transformation after a period of soul searching and the rebirth of the soul with new purpose, form, or meaning. Oh my gosh, sorry, I had a burp. In the Sierra Madre Hills, Mexico, the migration of monarch butterflies has taken place around the time of Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, since pre-Hispanic times. Many people associate the butterflies with the souls of loved ones, returning to families and friends for the celebrations. This card could be seen as a comfort to those who have lost someone. If you believe in an afterlife or rebirth, it is a reminder that these loved ones continue. If you do not, it is a sign of their energy being released into the universe and passing into nature. It also includes like the element, air, flora, protea flower, straw flower, peppermint, stones, caroite, malachite, opal, spellwork, manifesting change, aiding a transition, new job, moving on from a relationship, spring rites, Beltane ritual. Isn't that cool? All right, everyone, go be butterflies. Go transform this week. Thank you all for joining me. What do you guys think of that deck? I guess, you know what? Maybe I can switch up the decks every week because I have so many. It's like not even. I got a dog one. What else do I have? I made it sound like I have 100. I don't. All right, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Go be beautiful butterflies and flap away. All right, let me see if I missed any other super chats. No. All right, cool. Bye, everyone. Stay cool. It's very hot where I am. I hope y'all